Coming up, federal officials could soon be taking a closer look at the Fufeng Group's proposed corn processing plant for Grand Forks. A federal disaster is declared for 40 counties in North Dakota. And the first case of monkeypox is reported in South Dakota. How health officials say more cases are anticipated. Hello and welcome to the Nightly Review. I'm Tom Tucker. We begin with a look at tonight's headlines. Then a one-on-one conversation about the state of North Dakota's new effort aimed at awarding a total of $1 million in match-free grants aimed at spurring economic development and workforce development. But first tonight, the Fufeng Group's proposed corn processing plant for the city of Grand Forks could come under federal review. U.S. Senators John Hoeven and Kevin Cramer are joining Senator Marco Rubio in calling for the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States to conduct a review of Fufeng's purchase of land for the project. The senators want to determine whether the project creates a potential national security risk. Some familiar with the project have raised concerns about the Chinese Communist Party possibly using the corn plant as a location from which to perform surveillance on the U.S. Air Force Base nearby in Grand Forks. The South Dakota Department of Health says the first case of monkeypox has been identified in the state. The man in his 30s from eastern South Dakota tested positive for the virus, which was confirmed by state officials at the state public health laboratory. A state epidemiologist says prompt identification of the monkeypox rash by patients and clinicians is necessary to curb the transmission of the virus, and says more cases are anticipated. The city of West Fargo is set to host a community meeting to gather feedback on the Public Works Department. The meeting will take place 11:30 Thursday morning, July 21st at City Hall. We're told the meeting will focus on the department's strategic management and planning process. Citizens will have an opportunity to comment on priorities and areas of concern for Public Works. After 14 months of community support, work, and patience, Giga's Playhouse is nearing completion of rebuilding their facility in South Fargo. The old place was destroyed by a fire in May of 2021.
We are in the final stages of our rebuild. I guess final stages for the build aspect of it. And there's still a lot to do, to purchase program equipment and get set up in order to execute a fall program schedule, which we're really hopeful and going to do this year.
Giga's executive director, Heather Lorenzen, says work on the building is nearly complete, with a planned update on a grand opening party expected August 1st. Giga serves as North Dakota's only Down Syndrome Achievement Center. President Biden has issued a disaster declaration for 40 North Dakota counties impacted by severe spring storms, including flooding and power outages. The storms impacted much of the state between April 22nd and May 25th, causing more than $57 million in damage. The declaration frees up federal dollars to help with the cost of recovery and mitigation efforts. Counties to receive assistance include Barnes, Stutzman, Richland, Ransom, Sargent, Grand Forks, Trail, and Walsh. The price at the pumps in North Dakota dropped slightly this week. AAA says the average cost for a gallon of regular gas is now $4.55. That's 6 cents lower than a week ago. The national average is $4.57. The average price in Fargo is $4.54. In Bismarck, it's $4.55. Grand Forks comes in at $4.46. And in Minot, the average price for regular is $4.49 a gallon. 4 men from the Watford City area are charged with stealing crude oil in McKenzie County. Authorities say Daryl Morrell and Joseph Vandewalker were truck drivers for Endeavor Crude. They're accused of skimming oil from deliveries from late 2020 to March of this year that were meant for a Crestwood midstream facility. The skimming of nearly 150 deliveries was worth nearly $2.5 million. 2 other men, Mark McGregor and Michael Garcia, are also charged in the scheme. Ukrainians are seeking refuge in Minnesota. The Minnesota Department of Human Services says 300 people have become humanitarian parolees in the state. There are also more than 850 applications from Ukrainians trying to come to Minnesota. This comes after Russia launched a military incursion in Ukraine back in February. A new mental health crisis line will be available to North Dakota and Minnesota residents beginning this coming weekend. We're told it's part of a nationwide effort to make the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline number easier to remember. Beginning Saturday, anyone can call or text 988 anytime, any day to access resources. And a toddler is recovering after falling 3 stories at a hotel in South Dakota. The accident happened July 7th at the Holiday Inn Express in Fort Pierre. Police say the 1-year-old leaned against a screen and fell about 25 feet, landing on rocks below. The child suffered cuts to the face and head and a broken leg, but police say it could have been much worse. If you enjoy watching the Nightly Review, to stay on top of what is happening in the FM Metro, please take a moment to subscribe and hit the bell button below. We appreciate your support. Well, lots of sunshine weather-wise today, and unfortunately humidity as well. The question is, will the weekend bring relief? Meteorologist Justin Storm has a look at the forecast from the Skywatch Weather Center.
Thanks, Tom. As we head through the remainder of this evening, mostly sunny skies are going to continue, but clouds will be increasing as we head into tonight. Temperatures will dip to the mid and upper 60s with light wind, and we'll hang on to a subtle breeze on Saturday. A few spotty showers and storms will be possible throughout the day. Otherwise, partly sunny, highs mid-upper 80s. Once again, it will be a little humid out there, and we're going to stay humid on Sunday. Sunshine does return, and temperatures will warm into the lower 90s with a southwest breeze 10 to 20 miles an hour.
It could happen to you or someone you love. One moment, one diagnosis can change everything. Thankfully, there's a program that helps caring people uplift families through a crisis. Lend a Hand Up, raising financial help and hope through community benefits and online campaigns. A program that boosts generosity so gifts go further. Lend a Hand Up helps you help your neighbors. Learn more and give at lendahandup.org.
Welcome back to the Nightly Review. The state of North Dakota is awarding $1 million in match-free grants to help communities to build new places and spaces. We're told the grants are aimed at spurring growth and workforce and economic development. North Dakota's interim Commerce Commissioner Shawn Kessel spoke with me about the placemaking public space initiative.
Yeah, thanks for asking the question. So the SPSI, which is a little easier to say, but it's the statewide public space initiative plan, placemaking planning grant, is a federal pass-through grant that every state received $1 million. We in Commerce advocated that this $1 million be assigned to Commerce so that we could use those dollars at the local level. Many states are using them at the statewide level to initiate planning efforts with certain state agencies, and we instead wanted to use them at the local level. So we got permission to do that, and so what that results in now is a grant that is intended to increase the economic resiliency of those participating cities. Those ones that get selected will receive $100,000 with a no match guarantee. So that means it's open up to any community in North Dakota, not just the large ones, but also the very small ones.
Kessel talked about placemaking, what it is, and the role it can play in helping bring vibrancy to a city or community.
You nailed it, Tom. Placemaking is all about vibrancy. It's all about that feel that you get when you're in a community or a downtown where maybe there's music, maybe there's green space, maybe there's art, maybe there's music. It's about that place that both gets you excited but also comforts you at the same time. You want to walk through, you want to sit down on that public bench, you want to be able to observe others just having fun and playing in that space. That's what placemaking is about. Maybe it's about building a rec center so that they continue that kind of feeling when there's inclement weather. Placemaking is all about making a place that you want to go to on a regular basis. I love the feel of this. I love the energy about it. I want to come back time and time again. It's the place that when you're bringing people who are considering working for you, you show it off. This is something that you're proud of in your community, that you show them so that they will not only choose your community because of that space, they'll utilize that space and it'll help keep them in your community for the long haul.
I asked Kessel about the concept of placemaking and maybe having something to do with the community's culture, identity, and branding.
Tom, you nailed it. I'm not sure why you're a reporter. You should be in this business. Yeah, you really did. You nailed it. It's all about the emphasizing a culture. Again, we have a new staff member, and so the last 3 days we've been going around and visiting communities in eastern North Dakota, and we've been to 11 of them in just 3 days, and she's from Michigan, and so this is her first week in North Dakota. And it's so fun to travel with her, to hear her observations of the people that we meet. And she said, I always hear about North Dakota nice, but holy cow, it's real. People are genuine here. And it's making sure that we're sometimes way more humble than we need to be. We need to project and tell people how great things are in North Dakota, because we've got a good thing going. And you're right, projecting that culture and using a megaphone to shout it at the top of our lungs so that other people know, so that we can fill the jobs that are open. Unfortunately, we also have profitable businesses that are closing in North Dakota because we can't find people to purchase them. So that's what this is about as well, is bringing in that workforce, bringing in those entrepreneurs, making them feel comfortable and love the place that they live.
I'd like to thank North Dakota's interim Commerce Commissioner Shawn Kessel for joining me for tonight's one-on-one conversation. Now, the deadline for cities and counties and tribal entities to apply for the placemaking grants is September 1st. We're told winners will be announced October 15th. You can find more information about the grant program by checking out the story online at WDAYradionow.com. Well, that will do it for this Friday night, July 15th, 2022. I'm Tom Tucker. Thanks for watching the Nightly Review, and have a great weekend.